All right, on to some good news as we get ready to wrap up news at Prime for the week. Comedian and actor Lasizwe Dambuza and his friends have achieved a goal of raising 1 million rand to help financially excluded students. This took place over a 5-day period for the organizers of the hashtag 10 Rand Goes a Long Way. Joining me now, Lasizwe Dambuza and friend Ayanda Mhlongo. Good evening to both of you. It's such a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
I love the energy. You guys are excited. I can imagine that's why you managed to actually raise 1 million rand from 10 Rand from South Africans, because if this is the kind of energy you were sharing with people to be part of the campaign, then there's no way they wouldn't have come on board.
Yeah, we're definitely making giving back look cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Where did it start?
Sure. It started on social media. Initially, I was giving away 10,000 Rand because of what was currently happening with this Fees Must Fall, and I just wanted to help, but I didn't know how to help. So I basically went onto a live on Instagram and asked people, guys, I have 10,000 Rand. Do I give it to one person? Do I divide it amongst people? What do we do? And then Silva Mabena joined the live, and she was like, listen, let's get the students on board. Let's hear their problems. And many of the students were just saying, we just want to get registered. NSFAS is going to kick in, our bursaries are going to kick in, but registrations end very soon. And then in the live, King Ayanda joined. She was like, listen, guys, I think we're onto something. And then Techies also joined, and then now it was just the 4 of us. And we're now asking people, what should we call this? What's going on? We get another fan, and she was like, guys, crowdfund. We're like, well, we're not crowdfunders, but we'll try, And midnight, 3 a.m. in the morning, we had already raised 50,000 Rand.
That's absolutely incredible. It's one thing to, talk about it on social media, and, it's lots of fun in games, but to actually have a campaign that is successful, have accounts that people can send monies into. Talk to me about the setup of the administration of this fund now. Once it moved from just being, okay, let's see how we're going to work around this.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm laughing actually is because I'm thinking back to that moment of how crazy it was. So I joined the live at midnight. We had set up...
Sorry, do we not sleep at midnight anymore?
Well,
we're trying to sleep, but the live just kept us awake.
Yeah. So I actually joined at midnight, and I started researching while Lasizwe and Sibu and Takis were on the live, talking to students about what we actually can do. So we found a couple of organizations where people can actually deposit funds, but the trick was we could only open the platform on the Tuesday, and our deadline was Wednesday. So I went back on the live and I said, guys, well, I don't know what we're going to do, but we need someone's bank account. So now we're on the live trying to debate whose bank account, is going to be used. And then Steve was like, actually, I've got a company, I've got an investment account that I've never touched, and it's got money in there. And whatever money is in there, I'll donate it to the fund. And then Takis donated, and then I donated. And then we spent about 4 hours setting it up. We had hashtags running.
Is this on the same morning of the Instagram
on
live?
1 a.m., 2 a.m.
So literally between midnight and 4 o'clock in the morning, you had raised how much money?
58,000.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
I know, it's crazy. And we're so grateful for people for believing in us. But I think that the reason why this actually worked is because we did this live with everyone actually watching as we're putting it together. And I think everyone really came together and joined into the specific campaign because they really felt like they were a part of this campaign. From the naming convention, the hashtag, where the account should be, who should donate, how, we literally made sure that everyone, the whole of South Africa is with us, and it's a journey that we're going on together.
I think the other thing about this campaign is, and it's called the hashtag 10 Rand Goes a Long Way campaign. You're using just 10 Rand, and that's something that many South Africans would be able to forgo without thinking too long and too hard about it. Did you ever think that you would have enough people responding to actually raise 1 million rand?
I was actually shocked, to be honest. I was like, well, when we reached the halfway mark, I was like, oh my gosh, are we doing it, Because, when we envisioned 10 Rand Goes a Long Way, we made an example of if 1 million people could donate 10 Rand, that's 10 million Rand. Now, if you can get your grandmom, your aunt, your cat, your dog, your uncle to donate 10 Rand, in that household alone, it's 100 Rand. And the population of South Africa times that, it's we can literally be the solution to the problems that we have in this country.
In many ways, it also took the kind of influencers, as they're called these days, who are part of the campaign in order for it to gain as much traction as it did.
Yes, I think the interesting part is when we decided to that we're actually serious about this, we actually used our networks. So Lasizwe had a couple of friends who obviously are really huge celebrities that joined the live. Sibuma Bena is in the industry as one of the biggest agencies, marketing agencies currently that exist, and her clients that she has, which are big brands, joined the live. I, for example, manage a music channel. I was able to get a couple of artists to join the live and donate. So we're really able to use our networks to really get the word out there. And so it's really incredible how people just jumped on, donated, and then called the next person in. It was sort of like a challenge.
It's the power of social media, because a campaign like this would usually take weeks and months of planning and execution, and only in 6 months' time would you have any kind of funds raised. What do you think social media then is doing in terms of the dynamic of being able to instantly start a campaign, have it work, and, you know, right now, in a moment, I'll ask you to tell me about the distribution of funds.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I think for me, the power of social media is super powerful. My whole career was created on social media. So for me to be able to use the platform that gave me the life of Lasizwe to impact not even just 10 students, hundreds of students, to literally register and get a foot into university. For me, like, I feel like, wow, like, we did that, not even I did that. Like, what? You know, and if we can use social media in that manner for positivity, to empower each other, we are literally going to be top tier.
I imagine it also brings greater credibility, because often social media influencers are dismissed, you know. It just has been, oh no, they're on Instagram taking pictures all day. But you, as part of this campaign, have shown how much further the use of these platforms can go.
I think personally for me, like, I didn't even know I had such power, you know, like, just on the live, like, I can even testify that we were literally like, okay, guys, we got Krista. Now, just the Kankosi wants to join. Oh my gosh, guys, like, for me, I just have to say this on TV. I was fangirling on when, like, Sia Crazy came on, Krista. I was like, oh my gosh, the rugby player of South Africa. So that was just, for me, that was a big moment. And I think even for people watching, they were like, oh my God, like, the captain's here. And the captain speaks to his audience. They're not just coming alone. So it was massive and powerful, and thank you, like, really.
It sounds absolutely incredible. How are these funds going to be distributed now?
That's a great question, and thank you for asking that. So we actually had about 11 meetings with different fund managers, you know, that specialize in this, because when we did start, no, my apologies, when we made our first 100,000, we looked at each other and we said, guys, we're not fund managers. We don't know what we're going to do with this money, but it's going to do good. So we had a number of meetings, and we actually had a really, really amazing meeting with Fundi. And when we spoke to them, they have systems where they're able to verify students that actually have registered, where they are in the process, what additional items do they actually need. And we're also able to make sure that we can monitor every single person that gets the funds. So number one, if you go to Lasizwe's Twitter page right now, he's got a link that you can actually click on. It takes 5 minutes to register. So it's an application form, name, surname, your current student number, proof that you actually have been registered, and how much your registration is, and it goes into the system. We then take all those names, and it's a random selection. Sorry, we take all those names, it's then verified that they really are first-year undergrad students that have registered and been accepted, and all they need are the funds. Once that's been done, then they go into a random selection, and those first 100 that are selected are the ones that actually get help and will then be registered at the various higher learning institutions. I think it's like 26 that we have registered with Fundi. Post that, we have a team that's also going to look at exactly where the money went, who it went to, which institution.
Yes, we definitely don't want any commission established over the distribution of the funds.
No, and it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing because Fundi is doing it for us for free. So literally, every single last cent of the million is going to the students. And for me, that's the most amazing thing that we could have ever done for students that currently really want a chance to go to school, but just can't do it because they can't register.
I'm seeing lots of South Africans in response to this campaign saying, well, it shouldn't end here, you know. Now that we can see how far 10 Rand goes, you know, let's keep it going. Let's keep the momentum.
You know, to be honest, we're not crowdfunders. I respect crowdfunders, people that do this for a living.
Yeah.
It's been like the past 5 days, it's been hectic. We sleep 12 a.m. in the morning, wake up at 6 because we've got interviews, we need to prep, we need to do this. So our personal lives had to be on pause. Like, you know, we were like, okay, you know, we're just going to put this away.
But you've shown that you can do it.
So
imagine what if you went for 10 more days, it could be 2 million rand.
Everyone
everyone keeps saying this, but what's really cool is we are currently having discussions because we really want to take this hashtag 10 Rand goes a long way beyond our wildest imagination. We do believe that there are brands out there, there are corporate companies, I mean personalities, the average human being on the street who are able to carry this forward. We want to be able to have the 10 Rand goes a long way campaign go on and on and on. It's just tough when it's the four of us.
Yeah.
And like everyone else is helping us on the side, in between jobs, in between like, you know, trying to be a family person. So I think what we really, really, really want to do is have these discussions, partner up with someone and carry it forward.
And I just wanted to know, you know, you were probably seeing a lot of these protests on social media, maybe even on the news. Did you have any talks at all with some of the different student leaders or those that were in charge of the protests, or did you just decide to run this as an independent process that's a solution to the problem?
I think personally, like, we have a big problem in South Africa. Fees must fall has been happening for many years. And as a country, we're always looking for a solution from someone to come through and say, hey, here's a solution. So what we then did was we became the solution by involving every single South African from top tier, wherever world you're from, that guys, we need to come together and raise this initiative. So we decided that, you know what, to engage with student forums, whatever, it's just going to basically not get us to the deadline. Yeah, it's going to complicate things because now there's different dilemmas, there's different agendas, and we're just like, you know what, we're just here to raise raise funds for a cause that will impact many people.
Correct.
All right. Well, we certainly wish you guys all of the best.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the work you've been able to do. You know, just in 5 days, and an Instagram Live that started at midnight, as you heard, turned out into a 5-day fundraising campaign. And look where they are now, R1 million for students who would have been previously financially excluded from institutions of higher learning. And certainly this will go a long way in assisting those students who've been affected. Campaign founders, of course, Lasizwe Dambuza and Ayanda Mhlongo.